Good afternoon, our fans. Welcome to today's edition of Team Chat. It's Thursday. We're delighted to have you. We love you, man, and we hope you're taking care. You know, the COVID is going up, the cold is coming in, as you can see. It's getting colder and colder. But we just want to thank you all for joining us today. And ultimately, the only club with an internal that gives you this kind of interaction every week. Today, we're delighted to have one of the players who we needed to have last time. He played for us early last in the last decade. Um, Very wonderful defender for us. We're delighted to have today with us none other than Jonas Nahimana Pako. Pako, how are you,
Yeah,
man?
I'm okay, brother. How are you?
How is the US taking you?
Yeah, everything is okay. We thank God, despite the coronavirus, shutting everything down. But yeah, I can't complain.
Great. You know the fans have missed you. Ultimately,
Man,
the fans have missed you.
uh-huh.
Yeah, the fans have missed you.
Man, I mean,
People have been asking.
I'm,
We want Pako on.
oh man, I miss them a lot. Like, I have, few of them, of those fans that, we communicate. We are good friends. We talk most of the time, but man, I miss everybody, man. I miss Kenya, I miss the team, I miss the fan, I miss everything about the team. And I'm so excited, at least to go live, and just to show up and to be able to interact. Yeah.
So, what have you been up to since you left Leopards? Is ultimately what the fans want to know. What you've been doing. Uh, Take us in, man. Let's see what you've been up to.
Yeah, pretty much when I left Kenya, it was I still remember the day I flew from Kenya. Uh, I think the 6th of September 2013. Yeah, I left Kenya, came to Dallas. I got invited by FC Dallas when I first came here, but it was a little bit hard for me to get a chance to even go through trials because I got here with a visitor visa. So, and by they're trying to get me a working visa, but the process was taking forever, and I couldn't just wait, and sit down and wait. So my agent from Asia, at that time I had the same agent with Itubu Imbem, and yeah, they got me a deal in Vietnam. So they brought the contract down, and we agreed. So I flew from Dallas to Vietnam. So that's why I went to get myself uh, a 1 year contract. I played in Vietnamese Premier League for 1 year, one season. Then after that, I didn't renew with them. Then me and Itubu Mbem again, we went to another country. It's called Laos. It's between Thailand, Vietnam, and I played another one season for with that team. And yeah, after that, then I came back to United States. I came back to Dallas, and luckily for me, I got a work permit, but I still didn't have a green. So it was a little bit hard for me to get to those top high teams because they like traveling here and there to South America. They go to Europe, so I couldn't leave the country at that. So I couldn't get to those big teams. So then in 2017, I got signed in a third division team at Atlanta Silverbacks. I played one season, and we're even champion at that time. And yeah, so after that, then in 2018, no, the end of 2017, I didn't renew with them because I was not feeling comfortable playing in a lower level, like third division. My aim was to get like the higher level, but with the situation, life here and there, and I couldn't just get to that situation in that position. I mean, and so yeah, I've been just playing here and there, and just for fun to keep myself fit. And in the meantime, also like when I hang out my boat in 2 years ago, and I joined, I joined. I decided to launch my musical career. So that's what I'm into right now. So pretty much roughly the story about about Jonas Pako since I left Kenya. Yeah. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Victor?
Jonas,
Yes, sir.
you can
So,
get me?
yeah, I can hear you. Can you
Yeah,
hear
this
me?
is Willie. This is Willie. Victor is a little bit held up.
Oh,
I
okay.
think network issues. I believe you had started catching up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's been a while since you left Leopards. Maybe back again. Just give us a brief. What have you been up to?
Okay. Let me see where. Okay, I'm just gonna start from the beginning. Okay.
Kindly, kindly, kindly.
Okay. So what I was saying, I left when I left FC Leopard in 2013. I came to United States. I was invited by FC Dallas, and yeah, so pretty much I got here, and it was a little bit hard for me to get a team because I didn't have a working visa, and I had to wait for a month. I think a month and a half. Without kind of waiting for them, to get me a working visa. So the process normally takes longer. And I think I was just so impatient. And my agent was Vietnamese. He got me a contract in Vietnam. So that's now why when I flew to Vietnam to go play. I got a 1 year contract in Vietnamese, one of the Vietnamese team. So I played for 1 season, and after that I went to Laos. A lot of people don't know where is Laos. Laos is a country between Thailand and Vietnam. So I played another season. Um, then after that, I came back to America. So yeah, in America, I was just trying to catch up with my dreams, and at least finally I got myself a work permit. I didn't have my green card, so it was a little bit hard for me to travel. So kind of waiting, but then I got a team. I got signed with a third division team, Silverbacks, where I played also like 1 season. I went to the playoff, and everything went well. And so because I was aiming to go to the higher level, and because of administration problem issues, I couldn't get there. So it was a little bit frustrating for me, but you know, like I always say, I'm a hustler, and I kept playing just for fun, or just amateur teams here and there, just to keep myself in good shape. Then I finally decided, for some personal reason, to hang up my boots. And yeah, so pretty much roughly that's a little bit what happened since I left Kenya.
Thank you, Jonas, for that. We hope you're doing well and catching up in US. What do you relish? What do you relish at your time when you are still at AFC? What do you really relish?
Man, I always say, man, like, wherever I go, I always say FC Leopards. I don't consider FC Leopards just like a team. FC Leopards, it's it's a culture. To me, FC Leopards, it's a family. So I think those who are close to me, even those FC Leopards fans, can relate. The few who are close to me, that even ever since I left Kenya, I've been in America. I always been, close to the team. I try, I mean, I don't say the little things that I do, but I always try to be close to the team. That means FC, I carry FC in my heart, And like when I remember, I think about the playing unit. We are a big family, we are not just regular teammates. We go to practice. After that, everybody go his own ways. No, we used to be, like a family. And one of the reason why I was able like to settle down at FC Leopards, it's they made me feel like a family, like they made me feel home, because most of the time when you're foreign players, you play in a foreign country, you are far away from home, and if you're not mentally, you're not okay. Sometimes it's hard for you to to like to perform. But FC Leopards, that's why I'm always like grateful. They made me home. So I mean, I can say, I can clearly say that FC Leopard, it's a family to me. Yeah.
Thank you, Jonas. Coming back to the 2011-2013 season when you are at FC, what are your memories? What are the highs and lows? What are your memories while at FC during the 2011-2013 season?
Yeah, I mean, just like you say, I have, good memories and of course also like bad ones. I don't know which one should I start with.
Start with
Yeah,
any.
okay, I'm gonna start with the bad ones. Then I'll finish with the good ones. But yeah, so I mean, one of the lowest moments in my time at FC was thinking that season in 2012. We were close to win the league, but we failed. That was one of the things that when I sit down until now, I think about it. It's kind of it's kind of hard for me to swallow or to accept because because I could see the support that the fan was bringing to us. That was at least one thing that we really wanted to to give them as a reward, just like our parents who send his kid to school, his children to school. The kids, they want to to do good, to do well in school so that they can honor their parents. So just like for us, but we failed. And I remember one game, I think one of the game that we lost, I think it was in Nakuru against I think Chemilil. I don't remember, man. I think we lost 2-1 or something like that. And I just, I just broke down and cried because I knew we are close to losing our chance to win the league. Yeah, so those are the lowest moments, in my time at FC. But for the good ones, I mean, there are a lot of them. I mean, like winning games. I remember when I joined FC in 2011 half season. Yeah, in the middle of 2011, the team was in a bad shape, in a bad position. But we even when I started, like the first 2-3 games, we were still struggling. Trying to gel together with the new players who joined the team. And but then we went ahead winning like I think 23 games. Yeah, went like 23 games unbeaten. So that was one of the good moments, the best moment. Also like that derby we won 3-0 against Gor Mahia. That was also like one of the best memories. Yeah.
Thank you, Jonas. I bring up now Coach Gilbert Celebua. Coaches, if you can hear me, kindly unmute yourself from your end. Coaches, you can hear me? Kindly unmute your.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a question
with this, well, with these new gadgets and edge catching up, we need some little fellows around us to try and fix these technological problems. But anyway, Paco, what's up, man?
I'm good, Coach. How are you? I'm good, Coach. How are you?
I'm good. I can see you become you've gotten the American accent. How fast was it?
I try not to lose my African
but you're forced
accent.
to because of circumstances.
I know, man. I know.
So where are you at in the US?
I'm in Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
Well, I lived about 30 minutes from Dallas, Texas. That was between Dallas and Fort Worth. Was it Fort Worth, Texas airport? Somewhere called Arlington. You know the place?
No, Arlington. I have a lot of friends in Arlington. A lot of friends in Arlington.
Yeah, I just lived around those fields. The 12 fields around the lighted fields around Arlington, Texas. I used to live around there.
Okay.
Yeah, on Adlita Boulevard, 1289. I can still remember that 10 years ago.
Damn, you still remember?
Good. It's happy to see you, bro. You talked about in the beginning of the program. You talked about following your dreams. So after leaving FC Leopards, you had a dream. What was your dream then?
My dream was just like any other player. Just to play in the highest level. like to play, like just like we used to watch on TV, like all those big teams in Europe or America. So that was one of my biggest dreams. Yeah.
Or have you
I didn't get that. Can you repeat that?
Did you realize your dream of playing in Europe or playing in America?
Okay, like what I can say is, okay, I didn't get a chance to play in Europe, but what I can say is I'm not disappointed. I'm proud of myself, with whatever I achieved in my career. Even though, as I said, my dream was like to play in one of the biggest teams, like in Europe or here in America. But whatever I get a chance or whatever level that I reach, I can say I'm proud of myself. Yeah.
Your times that you spoke about your times at FC Leopards between 2011, 2012, and 2013 season.
Yes.
What is it that you felt that you almost achieved, especially in 2012, 2013, when you went for 23 games unbeaten? What is it that you had as a player then that you feel you can be able to lend to the current players? Because right now, FC Leopards is composed of young, very, very young, youthful players and talented. But, sometimes it gets onto their heads and then they cannot be able to get to their peak. So what do you advise them as a senior player who's been there and done it?
Yeah, what I can say is, first of all, like me being a foreigner playing in Kenya, I was an outstanding defender. Like I played almost. I remember even the season 2012. Out of 30 games, I played like 29 games, and in that 29 games, I played like 90 minutes. I've never been subbed, and even one game that I missed, it was because I was away from the national team. So to get to that point, to that level, to play so many games and you perform well, you know what I mean? It's just about hard work, And I used to tell myself, me as a foreign player, if, being in Kenya, to be able to always be in the starting, in the starting lineup, I need to do extra because I was telling myself, like most of the time, we come to practice. After practice, I stay behind. I have to extra more. Even when I go to my house, I'll try to train by myself. I used to try to train like as much as I can because I was to say, if I'm at the same level with the local player, then the team they're gonna choose to have a local player because it's gonna cost them less. Because having a foreign player, it was costing the team a lot. So I need to bring something new to the team. So what I can advise, to those young players, those young players that are joining the team is that, FC Leopard is a very big team. Just like me, when I was playing in Kenya, people back in Congo, when they hear, okay, Jonas is playing for FC Leopards, because, just like they say, yeah, nobody's perfect is, country or whatever. Maybe in Kenya, they may think FC, but out there, like let's say in my country, people respect me. They used to they take me with a lot of consideration with the fact that I play for FC Leopard because it's a very big team. So yeah, what I can say is just they just need to work hard because wearing that that jersey for the team is not something, it's not easy. So they have a big task, and to now to live up to the task, you need to do extra. Yeah, so that's my little advice.
My little research in the local football tells me that an African player, say playing in a country like I'll take Kenya for example, has exactly 10 years to play active football, because if you don't start playing football at 19, maybe you start playing football at 21, and therefore you only have about 9 years to get to 30 years. Now, I've seen a lot of players going down, especially the ones I would call legends, going down in such a way that life after football has been very difficult. So for you, you must have realized at some point that football is not going to be there for life. So what are you doing right now to now that you're out of football, and what would you advise the current players? Because after 9 years, after 10 years football work, then what is it thereafter? What do you advise the youngsters?
Okay, so everything you have to think in advance. Like you have to think ahead of time. Like by the time I was playing for FC Leopards, with whatever money I was getting, trying to invest to myself, you know, invest about, like, because just like you say, um, like being an African player and with somebody who's playing in Europe is kind of different. We know the condition. Of course, we not get like those people who are playing with those big teams in Europe or America. Like with one contract, your life can change and stuff. But still, because if you are able to handle small business, even when you get big ones, it's going to be easy for you. So me, what I can advise is just learn how to whatever money you get right now as a player. Just like you say, the average of an African player is 10 years. To be an active player. So just try to invest. Like for me, for myself, I used to invest, to myself back in my country, and also my education, learning here and there. Just like I came to Kenya, for instance, and the first time I came to Kenya, I didn't even know how to speak English, neither English or speak Swahili. I'm from a French-speaking country. I speak French and Lingala. But I told myself, oh, you know what? For me to, if I want to progress, not only in the field, but off the field, I need to do something. So I started investing myself on learning the language, how to speak English, doing classes, online classes, and try to learn and stuff. Even I remember when I came to Kenya, I didn't want to jump into learning Swahili because I didn't want to learn two languages at the same time. So I tried to focus on learning how to speak English. If people can go back to my first interviews, like in 2013, my very first interview also I did, I think at that time they're trying to have a FC Leopard TV, something like that. If you hear the way I was talking and now you can see there was a big difference, like, but I decided to invest myself in learning, and also like back home and financially, I used to, look at people also in my country, those big players in my country too, like they played in big teams. Then after they retired, they kind of, they're nowhere to be found. They lost themselves. So yeah, I mean, pretty much what I can say is, just they need to learn how to invest themselves. Like right now, of course, I hang up my boots. I'm doing music, but I'm also back to school. I'm in college. And pretty much I'm gonna graduate in 2 years from now, getting my bachelor degree in IT. So yeah.
Man, I do wish you one final question before the last one would be what is the difference playing for AFC Leopards and playing for a team, for example, not in bad faith, Bandari Football Club? What do you think the difference is?
Okay, I'll put it this way. Just like, okay, I'm a Madrid fan, right? Real Madrid. It's just like, I'm asking somebody like the difference between supporting either Barcelona or Madrid, versus supporting, maybe like Getafe or Espanyol, whatever. You know what I mean? So playing for FC Leopards, just like I say, FC Leopards is a big team. Like every game, like I remember we used to go to every game. It was under pressure because all those teams that they're coming to face us, they're coming like well prepared because they're playing FC Leopards. So there was no easy game for us. So I think that's the end. I love that because I love the fact that every single time, we go to a game, it was like a big task, a big challenge. And I love challenges, because there was no for us, no small team, no small game, because everybody, when they hear, oh, FC Leopards, they're coming well prepared. So, that was one of the things that I always like love about, playing for FC Leopards.
coaches Gilbert. Victor is back, and that's very, very nice. Victor.
Man, its technology is ridiculous. I don't know
Victor, I
if
see
we
you
have
back. Huh?
enemies. Man, I think we have some enemies somewhere who didn't want me to just talk to you. But I think one of the most memorable events I remember is this match in 2012. We were going through some rough patch, and you decided to throw your boots at Nyayo Stadium. Do you remember that match?
Yeah, I remember that. Mm-hmm.
What was the motivation for doing that at that point?
You know, like, you know, I'm a guy. I always get emotional. You know what I mean? Either in a positive way, in a way, or negative way. I'm an emotional guy, and that game I remember. I'm like, that was the only thing, because you know, a soccer cleat or a football cleat is like a gun for a soldier or a military. You know what I mean? So to me, to give away my soccer cleat was like a way to, you know, to show that, hey, we are together. You know what I mean? Like, because I used to see the fans cry and coming for us sometimes when we lose a game or we don't give them the result that they're expecting. You know, it was letting them down. So I just felt like, you know, I just got caught up in the moment, and I decided just to give away. I used to give like jerseys, you know, like, but that time, you know, I just decided to, you know, just to give to the fans. Like, hey, I owe you everything. Yeah.
Great, man. It's always a pleasure, you know, talking to you former players. And you said you were doing them lines, you know. Now we wouldn't mind you throwing as a chorus for your latest song, something.
A chorus? Okay, just give me a second. Let me grab my guitar very quick.
Great. As he grabs his guitar, I have a question for Coach Celebwa. Coach Celebwa. You also a fan of music. Great. Pako is back with his guitar, so we'll be getting a rhyme from him shortly. This is special, man. Yes, check out Sawai Pako, man, as we close up the show.
Okay, so this one, it's my very first song that I wrote. You know, it's called Paint. It's in Swahili. You know, it's out there. Like, you can go follow my YouTube channel, Jonas Pako Official, and my official page also on Facebook, Jonas Pako Official. So this just I'm gonna try to play. That was my very first song. Even people will be like, "You don't speak Swahili very well. How did you write a song in Swahili?" So I wrote what I could, and I also had people to help me to translate, you know, to write something better. So that's how it goes.
Great.
Usiniumize roho, oh mpenzi, mimi sina na Mungu, oh mpenzi, usiniumize roho, oh mpenzi, mimi sina na Mungu, oh mpenzi, mimi mtoto wa mama yangu, mimi mtoto wa baba yangu, mimi ni baba yake wangu, oh mpenzi, unisamehe, unisamehe baby, unisamehe, makosa ni yangu, unisamehe, unisamehe baby, unisamehe, lakini kukosea. Yeah, so pretty much.
It's a lovely hit, man. It's a lovely hit. And you know, fans, you know how we do it at Leopards? We show some love to our players, our former players. So hit that subscribe button for Jonas Pako Official on YouTube. Follow him on Facebook. As usual, we're always grateful to have you. I'm sorry I missed a big chunk of this. We should hopefully solve this technology. And we're going to have you back on. Thank you, fans, for joining us for this edition of Team. Thank you, man. For those joining us for this team chat, apologies for Captain Nicholas Miotti, who couldn't join us. We'll work on getting him on, plus the others who we didn't get. But otherwise, from us at AFC TV, take care, keep safe, and see you next time. Adios. Ingwaya Matere.